Eduardo Paret was born on November 28, 1973, in Havana, Cuba, into a family that greatly valued athletics and sportsmanship. Growing up in a country where baseball is more than just a sport but a part of the national identity, Paret's early life was shaped by the sport's ubiquitous presence. His parents, both of whom were active members of the local community's athletic scene, encouraged Eduardo to engage in various physical activities. But it was baseball that captured his heart from a very young age. Paret's talent in the sport became evident during his early childhood years, when he joined local youth baseball teams. From the start, his passion for the game and his exceptional skills on the field stood out. He quickly became known for his ability to field, his agility, and his natural sense of the game. His athleticism was complemented by his disciplined approach, which allowed him to refine his skills early on. As he grew older, Paret continued to develop his abilities in baseball, and by the age of 12, he was already considered one of the most promising young talents in the country. His strong arm, quick reflexes, and remarkable intelligence on the field set him apart from his peers. And it was clear that he was destined for a successful career in baseball. His dedication to the sport led to him joining the Cuban national youth team, where he would gain exposure to top-tier coaching and face off against some of the best young players in the world. By the age of 18, Paret had developed into a highly skilled shortstop, and his potential was undeniable. In 1992, he made his professional debut with the Cuban National Series team, Industriales, one of the most successful and prestigious baseball teams in Cuba. His rise to prominence in Cuba was swift, as he quickly established himself as one of the premier shortstops in the league. Professional career and rise to prominence. Eduardo Paret's professional career officially began with his debut in the Cuban National Series with Industriales in the early 1990s. It didn't take long for the young shortstop to make an impact. Paret's blend of superb defensive skills and developing offensive capabilities earned him a spot as a regular starter for Industriales, a team that was known for its high standards of excellence. From his first season, it was clear that Paret had the potential to become a cornerstone player for the team. His defensive skills as a shortstop quickly became his trademark. Paret's exceptional range, lightning-fast reactions, and flawless ability to read hitters made him a crucial player for Industriales. His strong arm and pinpoint accuracy on throws from deep in the hole at shortstop became legendary in Cuban baseball circles. Even more impressive was his consistency. Year after year, Paret demonstrated that his defensive play was among the best in the country. As a result, he quickly gained national recognition as one of the premier shortstops in the Cuban National Series. Offensively, Paret continued to improve. Though not known for his power at the plate, he developed into a steady hitter with the ability to get on base, create opportunities, and move runners around. His bat control and contact hitting were key attributes that allowed him to be an important contributor to Industriales' lineup. By the mid-1990s, he had established himself as a dependable leadoff hitter, and his discipline and awareness on the base paths made him a consistent threat. Paret's outstanding performance in domestic competitions earned him a spot on the Cuban national team. His first significant international appearance came in 1997, when he played for Cuba in the Baseball World Cup. It was here that Paret's talents truly began to gain global attention. His performance in the World Cup demonstrated his ability to compete at the highest levels, and Cuba's dominant showing in the tournament further cemented Paret's reputation as one of the nation's finest baseball players. Career peak and achievements. The peak of Eduardo Paret's career came in the early 2000s when he became a staple on the Cuban national team, participating in several major international competitions. Paret's inclusion in Cuba's roster for the 2000 Summer Olympics in Sydney, where the team captured the gold medal, marked a key moment in his career. His defensive brilliance and leadership on the field were critical in Cuba's victory, and he played an instrumental role in securing the country's position as a dominant force in international baseball. Paret's time in international tournaments also included multiple appearances in the Pan American Games, the Baseball World Cup, and the World Baseball Classic (WBC). He was known for being a clutch performer on the big stage, making key defensive plays and providing consistent offense. He earned widespread recognition for his contributions to Cuba's triumphs in international tournaments. His consistency and leadership were important factors in Cuba's gold medal performances at the 2003 Pan American Games and other international competitions. One of the highlights of Paret's career came during the 2004 Baseball World Cup, where Cuba again finished atop the podium. Paret's presence at shortstop, where he made numerous highlight reel plays, was one of the key reasons for Cuba's success in the tournament. His defensive mastery allowed him to become one of the most respected shortstops in the world. During this period, Paret continued to establish himself as one of the premier fielders in baseball, and his reputation only grew stronger as the years passed. Paret's performance in the Cuban National Series remained consistent throughout his career. He was regularly named to All-Star teams and received multiple National Series MVP nominations for his contributions to Industriales. His leadership in the locker room was just as important as his performance on the field, and he earned a reputation as a player who could be relied upon in clutch situations. By the mid-2000s, Eduardo Paret was widely regarded as one of the best shortstops in the world. His remarkable consistency, defense, and leadership qualities had established him as a national hero in Cuba. Despite not having the same level of power as other prominent players, Paret's well-rounded game, defensive prowess, and ability to perform on the world stage made him one of the most respected athletes in Cuban baseball history. Later years and final transition. As Eduardo Paret entered his 30s, he began to experience the natural decline in physical performance that comes with years of high-level competition. By the late 2000s, his playing time with the Cuban national team began to decrease, and he faced increased competition from younger players eager to take his place. However, his experience, leadership, and enduring skill kept him a valuable asset to his team. In 2010, after more than a decade of playing at the highest level, Paret made the decision to retire from international competition. Though he had slowed down physically, he remained a key figure on Industriales, where he continued to play for several more years. His final years as a player in the Cuban National Series were marked by his mentorship of younger players, passing on the knowledge and experience he had accumulated throughout his career. His leadership, both on and off the field, helped the next generation of Cuban players develop into future stars. Paret officially retired from playing in 2014, ending his illustrious career with Industriales. The decision to retire was met with a mixture of sadness and gratitude from fans, who had watched him grow into one of the most respected figures in Cuban baseball. His contribution to the sport, particularly to Industriales and the Cuban national team, had been immense, and he left behind a legacy of excellence. After his retirement, Eduardo Paret shifted his focus to coaching and mentoring. His extensive baseball knowledge and leadership qualities made him an ideal candidate to pass on his wisdom to younger generations of players. He began coaching youth teams in Cuba and working with local organizations to develop the next wave of baseball talent. Paret's reputation as a player and leader opened many doors for him in the baseball world, and he remains involved in Cuba's baseball community to this day. Legacy and conclusion. Eduardo Paret's legacy in Cuban baseball is one of consistency, leadership, and excellence. His career, marked by numerous championships, MVP awards, and international victories, made him one of the most respected shortstops in the history of the sport. His defense was exceptional, and his ability to perform in high-pressure situations was unmatched. His role in Cuba's successes in international tournaments, particularly in the Olympics and World Cup, cemented his place as one of the most accomplished players in the history of the sport. Paret's legacy extends beyond his individual accolades. His leadership, mentoring, and dedication to the game have made a lasting impact on Cuban baseball. As a coach and mentor, he continues to influence the next generation of players, ensuring that his knowledge and passion for the sport will live on. Eduardo Paret's career is a testament to the power of hard work, perseverance, and love for the game. His influence on Cuban baseball will be felt for years to come, and his name will forever be synonymous with excellence in the sport.